What if I told you there was once a bird in Madagascar as tall as LeBron James that laid eggs bigger than your head? Or that the island used to be ruled by a forest-dwelling dwarf hippo and hunted by a carnivorous duck? No, not a metaphorical duck, a literal duck that ate meat. This isn't some fever dream. This was prehistoric Madagascar. A place so ecologically unhinged, it makes Jurassic Park look like a mild petting zoo. Stick around, because what lived on Madagascar before humans arrived will absolutely blow your mind. To understand this prehistoric madness, we have to rewind way back. Roughly 88 million years ago, Madagascar broke off from the Indian subcontinent and floated away into isolation. And that isolation, it created the perfect pressure cooker for evolution to go wild. This wasn't just another island. This was a biological laboratory with no rules, no apex predators, and no limits. Think Australia, but even more chaotic. A. The elephant bird, the island's avian titan. Let's start with the main attraction. Aepyornis maximus, also known as the elephant bird. Imagine an ostrich, but twice the height and 10 times more terrifying. These birds stood 10 feet tall and weighed over 1,000 pounds. That's heavier than a polar bear. They couldn't fly, but they didn't need to. They were too big to fear anything. And their eggs? They were the largest ever laid by any animal. Over 1 foot long and holding 2 gallons of yolk. That's about 150 chicken eggs in one. It was like a walking breakfast buffet, if you were brave enough to steal one. But these giants weren't alone. B. The dwarf hippos. Cute, cuddly, and kind of murderous. You've heard of pygmy hippos, but prehistoric Madagascar had its own version, Hippopotamus lemurlei, a 2.5-foot tall, forest-dwelling hippo. They were about the size of a golden retriever, but don't let the cuteness fool you. Hippos today kill more people than lions. Now imagine one with no fear of predators, waddling around ancient rainforests like it owned the place. These hippos weren't just one species either. Madagascar had multiple dwarf hippos, all evolving in different directions. Some adapted to swamps, others to drier inland zones. It was basically the hippo version of Pokemon evolution. C. The giant lemurs, Madagascar's OG primates. Before King Julian from Madagascar the movie, there were lemurs the size of gorillas. No joke, Archaeolemur and Megalatopus were up to 5 feet tall, weighing over 200 pounds. They were slow, sloth-like, and hung from trees like oversized koalas on melatonin. Some had forward-facing eyes like monkeys. Others had powerful hind legs adapted for ground travel. They filled every niche, from tree swingers to ground stalkers. And the weirdest part, their extinction is recent, within the last 1,000 years. They were probably still around when the first humans arrived. D. The carnivorous duck. Yes, seriously. Okay, brace yourself. Meet Dromaeosaurus stertones' twisted cousin, the Madagascar carnivorous duck. Now, technically it's called Thambetocen chalaudius, and it lived on a nearby island group, but it was part of the same evolutionary chaos. This wasn't your friendly park duck. It had fang-like projections on its beak, strong legs, and likely hunted small animals or scavenged meat. Picture a goose that works out and has anger issues. If that doesn't haunt your dreams, I don't know what will. Here's something extra strange. Scientists believe Madagascar's unique animals survived so long because the island never had large mammalian predators. No lions, no wolves, no big cats. So evolution filled the void with birds, hippos, and lemurs. Nature got creative, and it shows. Prehistoric Madagascar wasn't just bizarre, it was one of the most creatively chaotic ecosystems Earth has ever produced. An island where birds became titans, lemurs ruled the canopy, and carnivorous ducks lurked in the shadows. But here's the twist. Almost all of them are gone now. Why? Because within just a few hundred years of human arrival, the balance shattered. Hunting, habitat loss, and fire wiped out thousands of years of evolutionary brilliance. It's a haunting reminder. When ecosystems are isolated, they evolve in extraordinary ways, but they're also incredibly fragile. Madagascar's lost monsters are a glimpse of what Earth can create and what we can too easily destroy. So the next time you see a lemur at the zoo, remember, it's the last echo of an unhinged world that once thrived without us.